Oh yeah, Jake and Deb are supposed to be here too.
Oh yeah, they were behind me, weren't they?
We're at Lincoln's tomb, getting ready to go and see Lincoln's tomb.
Oh.
Should we call him?
Yeah, I'm gonna call him.
Okay.
He's the big oak tree over here.
All right.
Hell of a nice, also,
And you can see,
monument there.
sitting at John Tyler, you can see Monroe behind it.
You can, yeah.
John Tyler's in front of Monroe.
We probably told you this story 100 times, but when we went to the Richmond Cemetery, we went there to see those presidents. But now I'm trying to recall. Jefferson Davis also there. And Michael was about 9 years old when we went there. Our youngest kid.
That's what started that
And
process.
he says, so we said something about Davis.
It was an eye-opening experience.
Went down Charleston where they had the copperheads, and my great-grandfather, the Illinois 54th, they were the unit that came in that put the riots down
It was, eh?
in Charleston.
Ah.
Yeah, I bought Kyle a new dresser for $100.
Yeah.
I don't know how old.
All right, here we go. We're gonna go see Abe. Colleen's our guide.
Yeah, right.
Where's Gene? Gene's right there. Okay, you have your rods for next. All right.
You're carrying a TV remote.
All right.
Lori was talking about something about when you guys were down in Grafton or something, but I thought she meant, I didn't realize
These
they
are
were
the same as
yours.
if you find mineral
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It's the same thing.
No, see, I didn't realize she meant they were yours. I thought it was just something down in Grafton.
No,
where you guys
no,
did.
no. Oh, funny. Okay. Rick has some Colleen and
Well, go ahead, mystical spirit, and see what you can find.
And he has his EVP?
Yeah, Colleen's got it. Colleen's got it. Is it on?
Did you turn it on?
Yeah. Push the button.
Where?
The main, the middle, right there. Push that. There. Now it's on. Okay.
Okay.
Here, let's get the. I'll just, yeah, if you hold it like that, I'll just go behind you. I'll take a picture for later so we can read it later. Nothing yet. It's nice and cool in here. It's beautiful. Nothing yet. I'll tell you if I see anything. No, nothing yet. Down this hall? All right, we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, it just started. Yep, there we go. Abe, are you here? Willie? Hey Willie, you here? I'll take a picture of this for later. Nothing. Oh, there it goes, right there. Oh yeah, it is going absolutely crazy. All the way to red. Abe, Willie, you here? It stopped. I think it's Willie.
I think it's Eddie that
Eddie?
must play because he was 4. That's when my kids
Oh.
would say they felt a little bit.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Mary.
No flowers today. When I was here last night, so he's 10 feet below us.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Solid concrete above him.
Oh.
Because they kept trying to steal him.
Ah. Nothing. There was a little flash. Oh, there it goes. It's going a lot right now. Yeah. Abe or Willie? Who is it? Who's the other one? Edward?
Eddie,
Eddie?
Tad, Willie, and then Mary's over here. Mary Todd.
All right. He was there for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not here, he's in Arlington. I've seen his bride in Arlington now.
There he goes, a little bit.
He did a good thing with the house. He gave it to the Park Service, his parents' house, and his condition was that you could never charge. He didn't want it to be ever for addition to be charged to that house, to get in that house, so it's free. The museum's it's not free.
No. There it was going again.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. A little bit, not now.
So it was the most by the
Yeah,
Was most by Mary?
yeah.
when we first walked into that.
She's probably unsettled. She was always kind of unsettled. She probably had guilt, because doesn't the story go that he didn't really want to go to Forest Theater that night, or one of them didn't want to go.
Mm.
I don't know. Sadly, Southerners haven't gotten over it yet. Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's by U of I, that big one. Oh. And this one's in Nebraska, it says.
Mm.
I haven't seen that one. Historians say this was the best speech ever written.
Oh,
His second inaugural. Malice toward none, that part, remember?
Uh-huh. Thank you for visiting. We're back at the beginning. Well, there was a little bit.
A little bit. Not as much as when we were here with the, wasn't watching though, with Delaney was
Yeah.
watching and it was going crazy. We can go down to the,
Yeah, let's go down to the other part.
yeah.
All right, so we're at the original burial
Crypt.
site,
Yep.
yeah, the original crypt. And Jean did her dowsing rods in the Lincoln's tomb. And tell us again what
In
happened.
the tomb, well, I went up to his tomb, and he's buried right behind the monument there, and I asked for a hug, and it immediately, oh, did right here, what it did there. And I said, and then and a couple minutes later, I said, are you President Abraham Lincoln? Are you buried here? And I said, if so, cross. And it did, like right there.
So it's doing it again right now?
Yes.
This is live.
Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so then I asked it to straighten it, and it kind of ignored me. It would not straighten. And
Huh.
then it did go, it did though,
And did that.
And it did a
this,
hug again.
just like
It just did it again.
did it again. And
So,
then it just didn't budge.
That sounds very presidential.
Yes.
Hugs
Pick
and
choose.
answer a question and more hugs. Well, that's cool. Let's see if we get any other answers up ahead. All right, all right, Gene. Let's see what happens in front of the original.
Let's see. Straighten the rods, please. Okay, I know you're not buried here, but is your spirit here? President Lincoln. If so, please cross the rods.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, please straighten the rods. We want this way, let's try this. Please straighten the rods. Are you content and happy where you're buried here? Please cross the rods if so.
Wow. They're strong.
Are you happy to have visitors?
Yes. He's happy to have visitors. We're keeping your memory alive.
Are you happy we're keeping your memory alive? Please straighten. Well, please straighten first.
I wonder how many people have ever doused.
I don't know. Please straighten the rods. Come down waist.
Well, she started telling the story about what we saw in the tomb and went right back to the same thing. Revolutionary, right?
Are you happy where you are now? Are you content?
Yes.
I think that's a yes.
That was a straight and a yes.
Yes. Yes.
He doesn't like to do two different actions. He straightens them and then answers the
Yes.
question.
Please straighten both rods. Not wanting to.
Ask if there's any of the other Lincoln's family here. If there's any of the other family
Are there
here.
any other spirits of your family, President Lincoln, here?
Yes.
Please straighten the rods.
What other questions do you have? Is any of your sons here?
Are any of your sons buried here in the cemetery?
Yes. Wow. Thanks,
Please straighten the rods.
Mr. President. Wow. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
How about is his wife visit? Is his wife here as well?
Is your wife Mary here with you as well?
Wow. Wow. Very yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President.
Well, I thought it was just something that you did there because of.
Thank you for doing everything you did for our country.
And I thought about taking those to the cemetery.
Is there anything we could do to help you?
Is there anything we can do to help you, President Lincoln?
No. No? Now we need the spirit box to ask what we can do. That was,
Yes, how do we answer that?
yeah, I know.
How do
Um,
you answer that? Are you upset with the way the world is right now? Oh, please straighten the rods.
That's a good question. Are you upset with the way? Yeah. Ask it again.
Are you upset with the way the world is right now? Please cross the bars if the answer is yes.
Hmm. He's not. He's not upset with the way the world is now. Probably because it's actually better than.
Yes. It's not responding any definite yes or no. Do you think things will get better soon?
No. This is the one they built.
Hmm.
It's not for him to say.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, he can't answer that.
Oh.
Oh, yes, it was not for him to say.
Oh,
Because that
thank
one was.
you.
This was the public.
Wow.
Are you happy we came to visit today? Please straighten the rods.
Obviously, that one wasn't done till like what?
Please straighten the rods.
Yeah.
Are you happy we came to visit you today, President Lincoln?
This was the rich. He was here because he did try to steal it.
Yes.
Temporary. It was a temporary thing.
Have him straighten. See if he can give you another hug and.
Please straighten the rods, President Lincoln.
Their oldest son that lived being an adult was pretty tough on her.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, a cramp.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, sorry, was that you, President Lincoln? Made me elbow jump. Did you poke me in the elbow, President Lincoln?
How about a hug and
And let it be.
yeah.
Okay, will you give me another hug before we move on? And thank you for talking to us.
You too, Janet.
You do.
Yeah,
It's like, okay.
yeah, yeah.
He's giving you a body hug.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We respect and hope you're happy where you are, and someday we'll be there with you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. That was really
Those dowsing rods were hot.
yes. He answered a lot of questions.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. You'll have to share.
Yes. I'll put this on the new
I
website.
had to ask her to share with me what you guys were actually doing.
Oh, yeah. Tell her.
No, Sherry did.
Okay.
She was kind of explaining it. Because Lori kind of told me about it when you guys were in Grafton with those, but I didn't realize that you had those. I thought it was just something at that hotel.
No, no.
Yeah.
So now we'll go see if there's any water down there.
But it was interesting. We did ask if he was upset with the way of the world, and he said he did not. He was not upset. He did not respond yes to that.
Yeah, but think about his world.
Well, that's why.
Right.
That's what we're
Well,
thinking.
Probably pretty good after this.
That's right.
Because it was
Right.
awful while he was president.
Yes.
Awful.
So he was. That was interesting. It was a very interesting session. He answered a lot of interesting questions. I'll put it up and everybody can see the answers.
So someday I'm gonna see
Good
that
job,
on that
Gene.
coast-
Thank
ghost
you.
secret
Our spirit
trail.
guide.
Very good one, guys.
Now you can see you've actually talked to Mr. President Abe Lincoln.
Yes.
What did the meter do?
Yeah, what?
The meter went off several times in the tomb, in different locations. When we passed the actual tomb, it went off as soon as we went in there.
It did.
But it did go down the hall as well when we were walking down the hall. So, and he did answer. Mr. President answered, "Is your wife here?" And he said yes. "And are your children here?" And he said yes.
And are you happy?
"And are you happy here?" And he said yes.
We're
So.
just happy that we came to visit him today.
Yes. So it was interesting because when we asked a question that was not a yes answer, he did not, are you unhappy with the way the world is? He did not respond to that. So there's something to it if he doesn't answer sometimes but answers every other time.
That's exactly what happened in the.
It is.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Yeah. That was very interesting. I'm glad we did this.
So in 1876, two guys tried to steal him.
1876.
1876, they tried to steal him, and they were counterfeiters, and they were wanting to sell his body. But a caretaker here, neither of them had grave robbing experience. So then they got some other guy to help them. But anyway, the lawmen knew and they were ready, and when they tried to get Lincoln's body, a shot rang out, alerted the robbers who ran, and confused the lawmen who thought the thieves had fired on them. 10 days later, they caught them, and then the custodian of the tomb buried Lincoln up there. Or he exhumed the body and reburied it once more in a steel cage, resting in a 10-foot deep vault and covered with concrete, and he remains there today.
In 76, then that happened.
Yeah. And
Ah,
they built the tomb around him.
wow.
Yeah.
Very neat.
But that grave guy, or the custodian of the grave, was not going to let it happen again.
Very interesting.
10 feet of concrete. Yeah, so it never happened again.
It's interesting. It's gazing the other way rather than the more open.
Yeah.
This way. Oh, here it comes around now. Now I can see it. It is.
It's a red tail.
No way.
Red tail hawk.
Is it yelping at you, Bruce?
All the little birds, all the sparrows.
You know, with the COVID, I kind of took out of it. My sister really wanted it. But they went into the Zoom. It was 2008. So I pretty much got out of it. And then when I got out of it, I started, boy, I got a lot of extra time now. You know, because when you're in the club, you do a lot of work.
You ready?
Yeah.
So about a year ago, I know he makes a post that he and his wife have been approached to purchase the Brinkerhoff Mansion.
This is your friend from high school.
Yes, friend from high school, and he was a state trooper at one time. And while he was a state trooper, Big Jim Thompson chose him as part of his security detail. So he went to China with Big Jim. He went to Cuba with Big Jim, and at about a 10-year class reunion, he said, I have like 3 bags packed because I never know where I'm going or what kind of weather there is or whatever. And the 4th bag is all my weapons. So that was his life for the whole time Jim Thompson was in governor.
Wow.
And then, so then I hadn't seen him probably in 25, 30 years. And I seen him at one class reunion. He's kind of telling us all this. And then, like I said, his last name's Fiddler. So his rental properties are under Fiddler's roof. And like I said, about a year ago he was approached, and he said, I've been approached, my wife Tammy and I have been approached by the Brinkerhoff Mansion before it gets in any further disrepair and bring it back to life. And he says, I think we're going to do it, and we're going to make it office spaces and a rental space for showers and so forth. And that's what he's done. And just because it wasn't in the worst repair ever.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who had it just knew they couldn't do anything with
But
it.
his intent is not to make it a home to live in again. It's a
No,
place to use.
Yep,
And
yep.
entertainment.
And he owns it.
And he owns it. So,
And that's where we're going in an hour and a half.
yeah, and he's owned it for about maybe a year or a little bit longer. And
Okay.
so I know I was going to come down here. I was going to contact him and say, hey, I'd love to go see the mansion, Gordon. And then I thought, well, I'll just ask him if he take some people through it. And he's like, I can accommodate any size you want to bring me. So I was like, okay.
Excellent.
Is it open and running?
Yes, he's had events there, several birthday parties, showers, and so forth.
I mean, is this a place that's open for the public? Do they have shops in there? Do they have a
No,
coffee
they
shop
don't have
in there?
any shops or anything.
Okay.
This is just strictly, they'll rent you office space
Okay.
or give you a ballroom off one
I
side of the
see.
house that sets up tables for events and so forth.
Jim Thompson's house is near where we are in Michigan, and it's on the market for what, 8 million? It
I
was
don't
some
know how many
ridiculous
million.
amount. He has a house on the, he's got a house over there in our,
Mm.
Speaking of
southwest Michigan.
historic homes, the Frank Lloyd Wright house that's in Peoria was purchased by a gentleman for $8 million when you mention it.
Wow.
And of course, it's in a historical part of Peoria. So, well, like the doctor that delivered our son lives right across the street, and he wanted to build a 3 or 4 car garage. and it had to perfectly match the architecture of the house he lives in.
Is that right?
And so that when he submitted the plans and everything, they said, okay, you can tear down the old garage and build this new one that perfectly matches your house. Well, the Frank Lloyd Wright house, this gentleman wanted to remodel the kitchen. So he goes to the Historical Society and feel like this will ruin the integrity of the house. And so it was going to be like a $240,000 kitchen remodel. And they had the kitchen cabinets out, and they had them sitting in front of the garage before they were going to put them in the garage and store them and then try to sell them. And somebody seen it and complained to the Historical Society. So it cost them another $40,000 to have all the cabinets put back in and refinished into the house, and see if they won't allow them to finish the kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Jim Thompson was my hero because he saved the White Sox.
Even though he
well, then you're gonna love Gordon.
I have voted for several of them in my lifetime.
Park across 5th Street. Is that
Yeah,
on the
at
west
the
side?
Springfield Dream Center. You'll see the Dream Center there.
That's where you park.
Yep.
Got that, Sue?
I'll tell
No.
you. and I'll give
Springfield Dream Center is where parking is.
Across the street.
Across the
Oh.
street.
you- Let me see exactly what he said then about
North
what.
5th goes south. The one way going south.
Yes.
So,
I'm gonna look up coffee shops.
We've seen that mansion gate on the way out to State Fair when we come up and look over that.
Come in the main door on the south side of the mansion. Holler if you have any questions. So that's what he said. The main door on the south side.
So this is a picture, a video inside of the old crypt, the old Abraham Lincoln crypt. I'm going through the bars, I'll show you. I'll come back. So that's the inside of the crypt.